I'm going to go over a few bank tickers, starting with Capital One. The company is still trying to resolve some system issues impacting deposits, payments, and transfers as of Friday the 17th. The outage actually happened on Wednesday. I got a notification on Thursday. So let's take a look at where we are. We ended the day at $190.97, up 1.34%. We are basically at VWAP. To the north side from where we are takes us back to the middle of the trend and one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at 192.77. Above that at 2 standard deviations, 196.98. 199.15, and don't hold your breath that we get to this level on Tuesday. And if we do, you can expect a sell-off as people take their profits and they run, they will lock in and they will leave. And on Monday, it's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as well as President Trump's inauguration. So a big day on Monday. To the south side takes us to 188.51, 186.34, and another level of support, 184.18, a potential buy-in as well at this level, and a potential stop loss area. As far as what is happening with the gaps, looking left, this gap here started on the 15th of January. Still in play to the downside. That will take us to roughly 184.83. This little mini gap also still in play, taking us down to roughly 180.53. Note the buy-in here along this line at support. Doesn't always hit the line, but when it does, I anticipate a bounce. And obviously it could go past, which it did here a little bit, and then let the buying begin. And then as we go up, this turns into resistance, busted through here, sort of just grinding our way up, another level of resistance, and then a sell-off here at 2 standard deviations and also resistance, and then making our way back down and then back up to resistance. So the RSI is going up, so that's good. But I anticipate part of this to fill, not all the way probably, because we are still in an upward channel. And it could definitely touch this level and maybe that level. And here's the clear area of resistance, a take profit area, back all the way down to support there. That is Capital One on the 5-minute. Let's take a look at this on the monthly. It's been forever since I have looked at this. So here's support. That was a buy-in at roughly 40.03. What was the 52-week low is $128. All right. And then this low was 11.41. RSI on the monthly is not overextended just yet, but getting dangerously close. Where is my other thing? Oh, well. Here on the monthly, the highest we've gotten is up here. Will this get all the way to this level and then go beyond? Maybe, maybe not. Don't bank on it. Just bank on the fact that once we get to this level, which is where we are now, something's going to happen and eventually we're going to curl over and sell off and then possibly repeat the pattern again to the upside, making our way back down to this level. But it's going to be a slow grind. The 52-week high is $198.30. Look at all the green here. And the 1-year target is 209.33, if you can stomach it. Back to the 5-minute. Now the next one I want to go over. Well, SoFi, we are up 1.23%, ending the day at 1650. JP Morgan Chase, 259.41. Wells Fargo, 149. 1.49% to the upside. 48.36 for US Bancorp. And let me do Bank of America very quickly. I do business with them. I own this one. I do business with them here, and this one I don't. But I used to do business with Bank of America, but I quit them after I kept repeatedly telling and calling the bank to stop giving me fraud alerts. This was years and years and years ago. I didn't sign up for fraud protection, but I kept telling them every time I went to go use it, I would get an alert. I'd go to Walmart, go to Sam's, and get an alert 2 times in a row. And it made me just so sick of it. And I warned them multiple times, stop dinging my card for fraud or alerting me for fraud because I don't want the protection. I already know what's in my account. I have a limit that I set anyway, so I didn't need them to just flag me all the time. I don't know why. So I had an open credit of $30,000. So I said, I'm done with you. So then I let them close out my account so that my credit wouldn't be dinged, my credit score. And I protected my credit that way. I'm still in, well, Wells Fargo says I have an 850 credit score. But anyway, so that's my story with Bank of America. Like I warned you over and over to stop, and they wouldn't stop. I've never had that problem with Chase. Okay, I'm done with the diatribe. 46.53 is where we ended at negative 0.24%. We're at VWAP. To the north side, I'm going to mark this out since it's been a while since I looked at this. All right, 47.89, 48, 47, another take profit area and resistance, and a potential sell limit area. 49.04, don't hold your breath for us to get to that level. 45.69, 45.13, and 44.57. Note the level of support down here for a buy in and getting out at resistance, went sideways, tried to crack it again, and then fell down. This turns into support. We fell through that area, and now we bounced up, down, up. RSI is looking like it's turning sideways. So hopefully, maybe the bleeding will stop in that sense, and finally just going up. I don't really mean bleeding because we're not really bleeding out here. We're just going sideways. All right, let's take a look at this on the monthly, where I like to troll. Everything, it's so funny, like we're in a rotation, and I spotted the lows, and I never really got into this way back. And you can see trends, whether it's the health sector, the bank sector, the AI sector, the quantum sector, semiconductors, housing. All right, on the monthly, here's your clear area of support, running all the way to resistance. The RSI in a dangerous area, getting there. Remember, the key level, 70 and above, but we hit 85 here. But once we hit this level, your radar should be going off. Alert, alert, alert. If you're trying to get out, it might be a time, or you're just going to let it ride. Depends on what your goal is. But down here is the lowest we've gotten on the RSI. And where does that correspond? Look at that. That low on the monthly corresponds with this low. Obviously, it was lower, but right now this is starting to go slightly down. So if you're in this, be careful. Well, apparently I tracked this at 38.65. We're at 46.53. The low here, 28, back in May, on May 19th. So be careful what the monthly chart is telling you. Okay, that's it. Now, one quick one. I'm going to go with SPY. It's been a little while since I did this one. All right. Bounce here at support. Sometimes we don't get to that line. We get close enough, and it started to run. So where are we? Dangerously high. Your radar should go off, and people think, oh, all this news stuff coming out. If you just look at the chart, I don't need to see what the news is. I see this, and I'm thinking, okay, it could go up, could go past this, but definitely what goes up must come down. Will it go down all the way back down to here? Probably not, but that's a signal for potential buy-in. This is a signal to sell. But if you're trying to ride high and go higher, that's a different tactic. That's not how I trade it. Let's take a look at this on the daily just to give you some levels. And then I will give you some targets. All right, we're at $597.58 right here to the north side. One channel takes you to 607.85. I'm not even going to read out the other levels because that's a slow process. 587.74. And oh, this gap closed already. So you could see that on a different time level, even though I marked this on the 5-minute channel. So I'm going to flip it over and clean it up on the 5 because it won't line up. So that's a gap already closed out at 576.70. And then this one will take us down to 562.19, and then we've got a gap here to 505.11, but we are in an upward channel on the daily. Now let me go back to the 5. What is happening? So we have this gap that formed on Friday the 17th. So this gap takes us to, oops, this is what I need right here. Roughly 592.49. Then we have this gap. Okay, and then we have this one closed already, see, and I need to clean that one up. That's why it's important to go back and clean up your chart. So that way, this was a spot I was anticipating to the downside at roughly 576.70, and that, let me drag this. Oh, that was supposed to be right here. I moved it on accident. We gapped up and then we fill it to the downside, and roughly that happened on Wednesday, November 6th. So if you were patient, looked at the chart, it went this way and then slammed down, made a run for it, back up, down. So this one is done, 576.70. It started at 587.76, and then we ran up, could have gotten out there, back down. So that one's done, that one's done. So we have these little ones, they're not little actually. These gaps, open wounds to the south side. These are landmines to watch out for should we reverse course. But we've got to get to this one first before we bleed out to the bottom ones. But right now, still going up on the 5-minute time frame. All right, that is a look at, what is it? Capital One, Bank of America, and SPY. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and a trading week, a fantastic trading week, even though it is short this upcoming week. All right, enjoy.